Hey guys, and welcome back to a brand new video and another episode of my F1 2018 mod career as Sebastian Vettel. And today we are here for the Hungarian Grand Prix, round number 10 of the season. And if you guys did miss the last episode around the British Grand Prix, which was uploaded yesterday, then do check that one out by clicking on the card in the top right hand corner of your screen. But we come here to Hungary to start off the second half of the season pretty much. And it's a track that is actually pretty well suited to our car. And I like our chances. I think we can do something around this track, and it's extremely close between the three big teams, both Mercedes, Ferrari and Red Bull, all super close, and absolutely anybody can win it. So while you're running for the grid, just a few more things from qualifying. Everyone's starting on the super softs. The car felt good. I think we can definitely work on the pace, and I think it can be a little bit better in the race. I like our chances strategy wise. I think it's going to be probably a two-stop strategy unless you can pull off an audacious one around here. I think you can even go for a three-stop around this track, so it's a pretty good mix, and it's interesting to see what strategy options we have available to us, and hopefully we can make it work and have a good race. But overall, Hungary is a track that I don't quite mind. It's not my favourite, it's not my least favourite, it's always been a bit in the middle. I don't particularly enjoy these cars around this track for some reason. I don't know why. I don't really get any real satisfaction as a driver out of this circuit with these cars. I get a lot of a light rear end, a lot of oversteer. I don't really enjoy it, but in terms of the strategy, you can see on screen we have a two-stop suggested to us, so we'll probably just run with what the screen suggests as it makes the most sense. And we have no rain expected, as you can see, so we are going to go for a little bit extra fuel. So we're going to start off with 1.5 laps extra fuel on the car, but I'm looking forward to it. Second row of the grid, let's try and get a good start and try to get ourselves up into the top 3 after turn 1. So without further ado, let's get into the round number 10 for the Hungarian Grand Prix. Right then, let's get ready to the 5 red lights here. Lights out and away we go at the Hungaroring, and it's a pretty decent start actually. Bottas also matching me there, but look at that, Ricciardo in the Red Bull. Phenomenal start from the Honey Badger there as we got the inside of turn 1, trying to recover positions here. Getting past Ricciardo and also getting the power down, getting past Bottas, who's been caught up in a bit of a kerfuffle with the Red Bulls, and Verstappen now is P4, so very good start from us, getting into the top 3 straight away, exactly like I wanted. So we can now chase after Kimi and also Lewis. Lewis in the last race at Silverstone, if you guys didn't watch it, then he was absolutely untouchable. Lewis just so bloody quick, couldn't lay a glove on him at all on any tyre compound at any point in the Grand Prix. So let's see if this race is a bit different. It's a bit more of a track that's suited to the Ferrari car, and it's a bit more, you could say it's a bit more equal in terms of the overall pace here, so we might have a much better chance of racing Lewis here today. Also, strategy is going to come into play. Who's on a 1-stop, who's on a 2, who is on a 3. So let's see what happens here. Let's settle into this race and see what our opening race pace is like, and we'll take it from there. Okay, Kimi fastest on that last lap, only by a slim margin. All 3 of us in the top 3 in the 1 minute 20.5. That's how close the pace is already. So it's all, like I said, fine margins, and a mistake could prove to be very costly in this current environment. Oh, first retirement, Charles Leclerc out of the Hungarian Grand Prix already on lap 3 with that Sauber car. Unfortunate for the Monegasque driver, but we are now down to 19 runners, and DRS is now enabled, so Kimi might actually fancy a go at Lewis here. He's definitely closer to the Mercedes driver than what I am to Kimi, so he might try and take the race lead, which would be really good for us as a team. Kimi really coming on strong lately and recovering positions quite nicely in the championship, so it would be nice to see him win a race. Through the final corner, we've closed up a bit the gap this lap. Not the best exit, but Kimi is very close to Lewis. This might be the one, as we once again lap at 20.5. Kimi is very close, but not close enough. He doesn't go for the dive just yet, but he's teasing the overtake on the 4 times world champion here. So Lewis under pressure. He's got 2 red cars, really putting the pressure on here in this race after 5 laps, and it's going to take a mighty defensive drive to keep us both behind. Another lap, another time that Kimi might have an attempt to overtake Lewis here onto the home straight. He's gaining. Is it enough? Not quite. He just doesn't want to go for that lunge into turn 1. We've got a yellow flag behind. That could be a potential retirement for one of the big boys. It looks like it's either a Red Bull or Bottas. Someone's pulled off. I can see on the mini-map. The question is, who is it going to be who's retired? And it looks like VSC deployed. Who has retired? It's Daniel Ricciardo, the Honey Badger, out of the Grand Prix. Very unfortunate for the Australian there. He's out of the Hungarian Grand Prix. So VSC ending here. We're looking racy. Unlike on the last race, we've actually managed to stay very close. Hopefully Kimi and Lewis didn't get penalties like the last one, because that does kind of ruin the episode. I don't think they would have, because they didn't seem to pull away like in the last race, so that's good news. DRS now re-enabled again, and me and Kimi can try and charge towards Lewis again. Kimi isn't as close as lap to Hamilton though through this final corner, so I don't think he's going to have as much of a chance of getting the run on the British driver here. Down the pit straight, and indeed he's not close enough just yet. That Mercedes has got some very good straight line speed in it, and that's allowing him to stay in front of Kimi for now. So good stuff from Lewis so far. Oh, Kimi locks up. That's not the best scenario for us as a team. I had to avoid him pretty much instead of backing out. I mean, I could have backed out, but in the moment, just had to sort of, my instinct was just to avoid and also make the pass if possible. Kimi sort of got himself going again, but we've lost a lot of time to Lewis, and potentially Kimi could be out the DRS of Lewis Hamilton here. Since this VSC, Kimi's really picked up the pace here, and he's really got going well. I can't keep up with the front two anymore at the moment. I'm struggling. I need to get back into DRS, but Raikkonen has really picked up the pace, and this might be his best chance. He's closer than he's ever been to Lewis Hamilton here. This might be his opportunity, but he's not really committing to anything though. I can see him sort of weaving around. He's not really committing to an overtake, but Hamilton does look up into turn 1, so Raikkonen's going to be again right on the back of him going into turn 3. But again, Raikkonen just can't get the run on the straight. That Mercedes is too quick, and also Bottas now has freed himself from the shackles of Max Verstappen, so he's on the hunt now, and he's a little bit quicker than me on that last lap, so he's starting to come towards the front three now. Okay, we're back into DRS here of Kimi. Again, Raikkonen's got the run on Hamilton, but he's not getting enough. He really isn't. He's not going to go for it, is he? No, he doesn't. Oh, that's close. That's very close. Going to keep it in fourth gear. Oh, back end. First time the tires are going. Pit window is now open, so let's see what these guys do. Let's see if Kimi pits this lap, because if he doesn't, then I certainly am, and I'm going to undercut him and show him how to get the job done and pass Lewis on the main straight. Right, let's see what these guys do. Will they both come in? Will one go for a one stop maybe? Who knows? Okay, Lewis comes in, Raikkonen doesn't, so we're going to come in. Ferrari don't want to call Kimi in, so I am going to respond. Also, can we beat Lewis in the pit stop battle here? Sending it slowed down. Very good pit entry actually. We're getting quite a bit of time on Lewis here. Let's see how quick this stop is. I don't think we won't really close now for an entry to really ever go at passing Lewis on the pit stop, but you never know. Oh no, we've been held up quite a lot. We actually weren't too bad. I think we was actually the faster stop, but we got held up unnecessarily long there. And the question is, are we going to feed down the same part of the racetrack, or will there be a slower car to split us? I think there might be a slower car. We've got a car that's coming down the pit lane, or the main straight, should I say. It's Carlos Sainz though, but luckily we are still ahead, which is critical. So basically the next car ahead of us directly is Lewis Hamilton. So let's crack on with it. You can see visually how much we've lost just by having the lollipop held down a little bit too long. So we need to recover that over this lap. Okay, Kimi's in the pit lane. I want to see what tyre he goes on, because Lewis is on supers. If Kimi goes for supers, then I might let Kimi go if he's got much better pace than me, because it makes sense. I'm on a different strategy. So let's Bottas on super softs. Kimi is on super softs, and he's going to be John miles ahead of me anyway as I screen freeze and miss my apex for turn 1, which is absolutely fantastic. But Kimi's got the super softs, so let's just let him run with it, and let's see if he can pass Lewis again. I'm going to be on the back foot on these tyres now, so the question is trying to basically stay in touch with these guys as much as I possibly can. I'll have the advantage at the end of the race on fresh tyres and hopefully plenty of fuel saved up. Okay, Kimi's just got past Perez. Now I'm going to try and do the same thing. Staying nice and close through the final corner. Rain in 10 minutes time apparently. That's interesting. That wasn't forecast on the session monitor, so that could sprinkle some excitement into this race. And also some just general unknown. So let's see what happens. That'll be very interesting. Pretty good seeing Alonso and Hamilton squabble it out for the lead. But Alonso eventually comes in, so the battle is short-lived. But Hamilton's definitely lost a bit of time there with that battle with Alonso, which is good news. Yellow flag behind. I wonder who could be this time. I think it might be Valtteri Bottas in the Mercedes. Let's see. Let's wait and see what happens. I think it definitely is Bottas who's got a car problem. Yellow flags behind. But we set a personal best into the 119s, which is good pace. And VSC deployed again. Who has had the issue? I'm not sure. Bottas is still going, so where is that issue and who has it occurred to? Sergio Perez, there you go, there's the answer. So Sergio Perez out of the race in the Force India. Unfortunate for him, but nothing too important as the VSC is already ending. That was quick. There we go, up to speed now. Let's make sure we don't get caught out. And there we go, that was a perfect VSC. back up to racing speed, and let's crack on with it. There you have it, the top 4 on the same straight pretty much. It's all very close. Bottas is picking up the pace here, and he is also on the super soft, so he's closing the gap. But so far I'm impressed with the pace in these soft compound tyres. They're not too bad, and the offset isn't too bad on overall tyre performance. Oh wow, that's big. Raikkonen with car trouble. I think the team are going to have to give the order to just let me through, because Raikkonen's got trouble. Whatever it may be, it's bad news for us, so I need to make this pass, because I'm the one that can still go for a race win. Raikkonen, again, unlucky. He was doing so well in the last few races and looking good for points again, but how bad is his issue, we will find out. Hopefully he doesn't drop too far behind Bottas and he can still maybe fight for a podium. But we're going to have to pass Kimi here, unfortunately, which isn't the best news, but I'll take it. It's still a position for me, but it's also a loss for Kimi personally, and also for the team. It could potentially be a lot worse if he drops behind Bottas and the rest of the guys behind him. Right, let's just get the car threaded through here. I want to try and make the pass and give both of us the least amount of pain possible, so I'll try and follow Kimi through here, and I'll try and get him into the chicane if I can. Get the car nicely threaded through there, and that is absolutely perfect. We're just going to get on the inside, make it as painless as possible. A little bit deep into the chicane to be fair, but that's the best thing I could do. So we're now into second place. Hopefully Kimi doesn't drop too far down the order. There we go, Bottas has passed Kimi, and I think Max Verstappen isn't too far behind either, so Raikkonen's going to slip through the order a little bit here. Bottas though is starting to feel it. I don't like it. He's getting a bit too quick, and he's starting to put the pressure on already. 1.8, he could be within DRS very soon. Rain in 10 to 15 minutes. I wonder if it's been pushed back a little bit. I was surprised because there was no rain on the radar, so maybe it's just a little like shocking surprise, but it might have arrived right towards the end of the Grand Prix, but not enough to give enough of a sprinkle for intermediates. At the moment it's looking like pretty much I lose a tenth to Hamilton every single lap, and I lose a tenth to Bottas every lap, so the pace is more or less consistent. I'm happy with my pace in this tyre. Hopefully though we can just sort of start to reel Hamilton in. I'm expecting him in this lap, and he's going to come in for the softs. Hopefully his pace on fresh softs isn't that much better than mine on these, because I've got to try and stay on these until about lap 24. So if I can keep the pace pretty similar in those 4 laps and then attack on the super, then I might have half a chance of winning the race. But Hamilton's definitely pushing hard here, and similar to Silverstone, I'm struggling to really get with his pace. Okay, so now the Lewis or Bottas come in, which is good news for me. The longer they stay out on those used super softs, the better. Okay, this time Lewis does come in. Kimi came in on the last lap. I'm hoping if his car issues got resolved, he might be able to re-undercut the Red Bull possibly. But Lewis comes in. He's going to presumably come in for the softs. There you go. So let's try and see what we can do in these last couple of laps in these tyres. Just got to try and push as much as I can. Right, Bottas and Verstappen come in, so we are going to be roaming solo for 2 whole laps here. Pace is still good. I need to try and push as much as I can though. Look at that, Alonso P3 on the mediums, on the one-stop strategy in the McLaren, and he's got himself right up there. Kimi though looks like he's got his car issues fixed, which is good news. So hopefully he can crack on after Verstappen and Bottas, hopefully, and have a late flurry and still maybe try and finish in the podium. But Alonso, in the last race in Silverstone, if you guys remember, he was looking nailed on for a podium until he had a car problem. So Van Dorn almost got the podium, finishing in P4, but it could have been a McLaren 3-4 at Silverstone. This time though, Alonso really chasing that podium on the one-stop strategy. Could he make it happen? Who knows? That Alonso third place is short-lived as Bottas overtakes him for P3 there in the Mercedes. Apparently we're not far away for some rain. No time specification. I know I could stay out, but I'm just going to play it safe. I'm going to come in for supers, and just, if I have to drive in the wet, I'll drive in the wet with the supers. I'd rather drive on those fresh supers than these worn softs. So here we go, into the pit lane, really pushing the pit entry as much as I can. Down to 80, perfect pit entry, no complaints. Straight onto the supers. Hopefully, I've got enough of a gap I can still come out ahead of Bottas. If I come out ahead of Bottas, then I've got half a chance of getting past Lewis, but that was not a great stop, and I missed my shift to get going, and I missed my manual pull away. So there's Lewis long gone in the distance, and here comes Bottas. Slow to get the limiter off. It's small margins, but if I'd just done that pit stop perfectly, I might have just rejoined ahead of Bottas there. The small margins, but that would have might have put me alongside him into turn 1. So let myself down there, getting away slowly from the pit box, and also slow to put the limiter off. But we are on these tyres now, which is the big advantage, and we've got plenty of fuel saved up. almost 3 laps. That will literally go away in about 4 laps though, so I've got to use it probably once I pass Valtteri, preferably in clean air if possible. I am so much quicker than Valtteri, it's unbelievable. The amount of grip I've got on these tyres should be illegal, to be fair. I'm absolutely flying on these, so we're going to set ourselves up for a move. Valtteri goes defensive a little bit into this corner. I'm going to set up my car just to stay nice and close. I'll pass him on the straight comfortably. I don't want to rush into a move here, go for something stupid and ultimately compromise my final stint, which is what I've been looking forward to all race. So we're just going to stay nice and close to Bottas here. Rich mix now flowing. We're going to keep it in rich now for the rest of, not the rest of the race, but until it runs out. Bottas goes defensive. We pick up the toe, go into the inside on the brakes, and it's a very nice move for second place, re-inheriting our original position. Now we can crack on with it and really push these tyres and catch up to Lewis. Absolutely perfect. We've managed to get some DRS off of Lance Stroll, and he hasn't held me up one bit, so we're going to pick up the toe. 18.3 fastest lap of the Grand Prix as we breeze past Stroll. Gap to Lewis 6.3. Can we do it? It's going to be close. Every lap's got to be a time trial lap. Okay, it started to rain. Interesting. So the weather prediction was correct and the monitor was wrong. This is interesting. We will have the grip advantage over Lewis in these conditions on these tyres, so I'm not complaining. We are still very quick. 4.5 the gap. That was 1.8 in that last lap alone we took off, but let's see what the pace is like now in these wet conditions. Also, my fuel's almost gone already after 2 laps. With the amount of gear shifting I'm doing around a lap here, I'm basically just swallowing the fuel so quick, so it's not going to last for much longer. I got to say the rain is barely noticeable. The pace has dropped a little bit, but it's not enough rain to go into Inters, I don't think, before the end of the Grand Prix. Gap now 3.3. And on cue, we are out of rich mix. So let's see what we can do in a standard engine mode. Gap now 2.4 with 6 full racing laps to go. Okay, I need Hulkenberg to now get out of the way if possible. The rain is not really coming down anymore. It's just sort of spitting at a very steady rate as we go around the outside of Nico. Not the best place to get out of the way, but he got out of the way nonetheless. Hamilton up next. You can see him on the map. You can see him visibly. Oh, big slide there. Little slippery parts of the track. 5 laps to go. Let's do this. Oh, Hamilton's been held up pretty badly by the Williams of Sergei Sirotkin there. That's going to really put him on the back foot as we gain a lot of ground here on the Williams. We're going to get the DRS as well, and Sirotkin will presumably just move over to the side here. Unfortunately, he's got DRS, so I need him to really slow down. I'm going to try and force him to the left, and there we go. That's exactly what I want. Right, we are on the back of Hamilton now. Can we do it? Tyres are no longer the freshest, but I'm still on the quicker rubber, which is the good news. Pressure's on Lewis now, as I missed that apex a little bit. Conditions just slightly getting worse, but it's still by a long way dry tyre conditions. Right, onto the home stretch, DRS for the first time. Our first attempt at trying to get past Hamilton, and we're still a little bit far back. So 3 laps to go. Hot on the brakes there. Attempt number 1, you could say, was a bit of a sighter to see exactly what the situation is. That car is pretty quick on the straights. Lewis was pulling away from me in a straight line, even though I had DRS. I'm going to need some rich mix, so I'm going to keep it in standard for a little bit longer and try next lap. Oh, got a yellow flag. Bottas out of the race. That is heartbreak for the Finn right in the closing stages, and that's going to promote Verstappen to a late podium here. Right, let's see. Final corner. I'm going to try and keep it nice and close to the apex. Got a little bit of rich mix to burn on the power. I just can't really get the best exit, but we are going to straighten the car up. Rich mix flowing. It's burning quick. We are catching Lewis. I'm going to go down the standard. I'm good on the brakes into turn 1, which is good to know. Lewis locks up though. I can see he's locked up a bit. That's allowed me to just slip alongside. 2 laps to go here. We're on the outside line. Can I make it work? Oh, there's not much grip out here. Lewis still there. Oh, it's close. We squeeze him out and we take it. We've taken the lead of the Hungarian Grand Prix with authority, squeezing Lewis out there. And that is us into first place, but the conditions now are starting to get very tricky. Got to be careful. We're not home and dry just yet. Here we go into the final lap of the Grand Prix. I've got no rich mix to defend. I've used it all when I tried to pass Lewis on the last lap, but I think I've got enough of a gap to him that he's not going to look for the move here. He's coming at me quick with DRS, but Get it slowed down, pick up the apex. Nice, on the power. And there we go, we've managed to hold on. I think Lewis is going to struggle to make the move now in the last lap of the Grand Prix. Right, found a couple of corners, bring it home. No mistakes. We're on target for fuel, just got to be careful. Track is very slippy. One corner to go. Nice and easy on the power. And there we go, we're going to come through to win the Hungarian Grand Prix and pay back for the British Grand Prix where we just missed out. Just didn't have the pace at all. This track though, we bounced back. A much better suited track for the Ferraris. And we bounced back in the best way possible, picking up the W and a big 25 points and re-establishing a nice healthy lead in the championship, up to 16 points I believe now. So good news, but we now go to Spa and Monza, which are interesting because the Mercedes looked very quick at Silverstone, the fast corners, straight lines. I think Spa especially we might struggle. Monza we can maybe, we can cut out some aero, trim out the aero and maybe try and match the Mercedes, but all in all I think Mercedes are going to have the upper hand in the next two races, so we have to really wait until Singapore to have a good chance of winning again. But I'm not going to complain. We're leading by 16 points. Let's make it count as we now move into the final race results, drivers and constructor standings after a very tense but enjoyable Hungarian Grand Prix. And there we have it. Here are the final race results. Sebastian Vettel wins the Hungarian Grand Prix ahead of Hamilton and Max Verstappen, bringing out the podium, and then Kimi Raikkonen just missing out in P4 there. Fernando Alonso in a phenomenal 5th place for McLaren ahead of Kevin Magnussen, and Stoffel Van Dorn also in a phenomenal 7th place on a 2-stop strategy. Very good strategy there and good race from the Belgian. McLaren scoring very good points there with Brendan Hartley beating Pierre Gasly, with Toro Rosso scoring double points as well in 8th and 9th, with Carlos Sainz running out the top 10. Esteban Ocon unfortunately just missing out, and Ericsson and Hulkenberg also there, nowhere near the points. But in terms of the Drivers' Championship, we are 16 points clear going into Spa and 100 plus to everybody else behind from 3rd downwards. Alonso and Magnussen get themselves up in the standings quite a bit there and score some decent points. And the battle for best the rest is very, very tasty there with Hulkenberg, Magnussen, Alonso, Grosjean, Van Dorn, all those guys in a big fight. And only 8 points behind Bottas, who's really struggling to score some points this season. In terms of the constructors, you can see we are 38 points ahead of Mercedes going into 2 tracks that should really suit the Silver Arrows. So pressure's on, and also McLaren, they're making a big jump to get really close to Haas and becoming the 4th best team on the grid there, so fair play to them on a good recovery this season. But anyway guys, if you have enjoyed this episode, then please do drop a like on the video. Let's try and smash 150 likes guys if possible. Also, if you're new around here, please do get subscribed for daily Formula 1 and MotoGP content. Turn on notifications to not miss a single video from me, and finally check out these 2 videos on screen if you have missed them. But other than that guys, thanks for watching. Let's see you in my next video very soon. Goodbye.